narrow streets in a rusty car, leading to the sea. Think we're getting close. We should take a pic, baby, strike a pose.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's live stream. I am so excited that you are here. Today we're talking about tips from a 7-figure travel entrepreneur. That entrepreneur would be yours truly. We have had amazing growth in the industry, and I just want to share some great tips with you today. That's what we're doing on the live stream. If you want to learn foundational steps that you need to have in place to prepare for massive growth, if you want to learn why you might not be where you want to be yet, we're going to dive into that. We're going to go there. And also 5 critical things that you need to do so you can scale. 5 critical growth hacks so you can get on the path to 6 and 7 figures in this industry. So that sounds like fun. Keep on watching. That's what we're doing on live stream today.
Come take my hand, I will walk with you. I won't let go till you say so. There isn't anything I wouldn't do. Wanna make sure that you understand.
All right, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell over on YouTube. If you are new to the channel, I would love to say welcome. And if you are new, you might not know who I am. My name is Cyndi Williams. I am going on almost 30 years in the travel industry. It's been a minute. I own and operate my own award-winning, nationally recognized travel agency, but I'm best known for being the CEO of Careers on Vacation, which helps people just like you, launch, grow, and supersize your travel businesses all over the world. So if you're new, type a little "I'm new" below so I can welcome you to our community. But today, guys, we are diving into what does it take to get to 7 figures? What am I doing wrong? What can I do differently? Or what steps might I be missing to kind of get on the path to bigger growth or playing it bigger? Maybe 7 figures feels big. Maybe we want to get to 6 figures first. That's fine too. I want to dive in and just give you guys some good content today about things that might be holding you back that you don't realize, and also some tangible things that you can do to get on the right path. And I'll also tell you, if you are an aspiring travel agent and you came across this video, we have a free resource for you. You can go to careersonvacation.com/masterclass. We actually have a masterclass that will walk you through the 5 key steps to focus on 6-figure growth in the industry. So just know that that is available. I'll put those links below as well if you're in that aspiring phase. But I want to start by saying this is such a juicy topic. There's so many ways we could go with it. In fact, I had prepared some different, kind of a different show flow for today. And then the greatest feed showed up right here in the Careers on Vacation group. We're streaming in the Facebook group in Careers on Vacation, and later this will replay on YouTube. But the best feed popped up this week, and it kind of altered my message because I was so inspired by the responses that you guys were putting in that feed. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. Just on people who are playing it big in the industry and like the difference that it can make. And I want to start by saying the reality is most people will not even have the attention span to make it to the end of this video. That's a reality. Most people are not willing to put in the work to get to 6 or 7 figures in the industry. Most people don't even, maybe not most people, but a lot of people don't even believe a bigger potential is possible, or worse yet, that they are capable of achieving something in a bigger scale or playing it bigger in the industry, right? All of those are just limiting beliefs, right? Well, attention span is one of those things that we're all fighting, right? It's one of those things with social media. It's like, oh, I have 15-second attention span. If it's not a TikTok video, am I going to make it to the end of this video? So I want to challenge you right now, if you're serious about your growth, make it to the end of this video. It's not going to be more than 15-minute long video, but it's going to give you some great tips. It's going to give you a framework. It's going to give you some things to really think about what you need to sit back and do if you want to get on the path to doing things bigger in the industry. And I want to start by talking about foundational steps. Like, have you done the prep work of what you need to do so you can prepare, right? And what do I mean by that? So the first one on foundational steps is start thinking like a business owner when it comes to key decisions in your business. So many times, especially in our industry, because you guys are at home, right? You don't sit next to someone else who's achieving something different, or we're not in an environment, we're in an agency or we're in a larger corporation anymore. A lot of you guys are at home travel agents trying to muddle your way through, trying to figure it all out, right? So, what I mean when I say start thinking like a business owner is a lot of you guys have a hobbyist approach to your business, even if you don't realize it, because you're playing it small. So when I say start thinking like a business owner when it comes to key decisions, what CRM are you going to use? What mentor are you going to affiliate with? What tribe do you surround yourself with? Right? It could be little decisions, but like, are you thinking from a business owner perspective instead of a scarcity mentality? Right? And this comes in like asking the right questions. And this is how I can always tell. We get like, I don't know, 50 emails a week that come through our email forums and different places online, and it'll say, how much is Careers on Vacation? How much does it cost? And while I appreciate that question, and it is a question that you should ask, asking it right out of the gate, it lets me know that some of you aren't asking the right question. What do I mean by that? Let me clarify. When you, and it could be something else. Maybe it's not Careers on Vacation. Maybe it's how much does a CRM cost? Maybe it's how much is it for this person to teach me automation? How much is it for this person to teach me about real marketing? How much is it for whatever you need to fix whatever problems you have in your business? If you go right to how much is it, what you're really saying is, should I even try? Is it in my reach? Can I afford it? Right? You've already gone to the place of, can I afford it? Is it in my reach? Should I even do it? When you ask that question out of the gate. So a hobbyist or an inexperienced business owner might ask that question versus a more experienced person who's been through the racket of doing it the wrong way and having trial and error and the pain and frustration that can cause. And what a savvy entrepreneur will ask is, what do I need? What do I need in my business? If you start with that first, you won't be seeking solutions you don't need, right? Maybe save yourself some money there. But if you start with, what in my heart of hearts do I know that I need? And I ask myself this question all the time. And I used to be you guys, right? I was joking yesterday. We were on our mastermind call with all the COV students. I said, listen, my grandma's Dutch, 100%. She was Dutch. And I take that stuff seriously. And it's true. Like, that was our mentality growing up. How inexpensive can we get it? Can we do it ourselves? So I get you. I feel you. I was you, right? 10 years ago. If I could coach Cyndi 10 years ago to do what I'm asking you guys to think about today, I would have been here so much faster, right? That's all I'm trying to get across. I've already been through that pain journey. I already was the hobbyist business owner, right? So what does it take to take that leap? So a more savvy business owner, what will they ask instead of, should I try it? Can I afford it? Those more hobbyist questions. And I want to step back a second. When you ask, can I afford it? Before you've done an assessment of how it will impact your business or your bottom line of your profits, that's where y'all are messing yourself up emotionally and like mentally as you think through making a key business decision. Whether it's the CRM or the thing or the whatever that's going to fix the problem you have in your business so you can get to earning more profits, having more work-life balance, or whatever your personal goals are. So the key is to do the assessment. So what does a more savvy business owner ask? They will ask, what do I need? But then even further, they'll say, if I fix this problem, I use this one so much. If I fix this problem in my business, or if I get 10% better at doing this in my business, what will that equal on the bottom line? Sometimes it can be something like, I can look at our total leads coming in, I can see our conversion percentage, and I say, what if I move my team 10% where we're closing 10% more? And that's going to equal an additional 20 grand in my bottom line of my businesses. Would it be worth it for me to maybe hire the best salesperson I can find, have them come in and spend some time with my team? Even if their cost was $8,000, if I'm going to make 20 more every single month, 8,000 sounds like, whoa, wow, if I just look at the price tag, right? But if you look at the impact to your business, does that make sense? You guys feeling that? So what I'm saying is, whatever the problem is, do you need more leads? Do you need to close more sales? Do you need to have better clients so you're not getting ghosted? Are you running yourself rampant because you don't have automation in place and you're just like, I have no work-life balance? Maybe you have so many leads, but you don't have a process in place where you're converting them at the level you need to, or worse yet, not delivering the service that you need to be where you want to be. It could be a million different problems, but the point is, what would fixing that problem that you know you have equal in either your bottom line, your day-to-day happiness, or improving even for if you have a staff, right? So that's the money question. If I fix this, what's the impact? And then you want to think about, how much time will I save? That's another thing, savvy entrepreneurs. How much time can I save if I just hire this person, if I just do this thing, if I just get this automation right? How much time will I save, right? The other one is stress. And this is one that you DIYers will take on. And I was you. I can do everything. I'm Superwoman. I can learn it. I can find it. I can duct tape stuff together. I did that for so many years. It's exhausting. You guys, I know if you're out there and you're like, yeah, you're speaking my language, is exhausting. The DIYers sign up for, I'll just figure it out. I'll just figure it out. But what we don't realize when we make that decision is the stress. So that more savvy entrepreneur with that 6 or 7 figure mindset will say, oh, that's going to save me a ton of stress. I was actually working with one of my Wanderlust CEOs yesterday. She's scaling out a huge project. And she said, I'm not interested in doing any, like, we were putting out her tasks, the tasks that need to happen in her business to move it to the next level. She said, I'm not interested in doing any of that. She said, Cyndi, you already know who to do what. She's like, I'm just going to use this person and that person. I'm just going to basically follow this roadmap, and I'm going to sit in the CEO seat and do what I do best, which is the analysis, the planning, the pieces. And she's getting those people in place because she understands what the stress means in her business if she were to take on doing things that a CEO doesn't need to do. Right? And of course, this is like, you don't start at CEO, you start agent and then you grow. But just her understanding of that is another way of, like, when we deal with new agents who are like, can I do this? And it's just a different, like, confidence level and the different questions that they're asking. The other thing, and this is along the lines of price, right? I'm not saying go willy-nilly and just buy a bunch of stuff. But what you want to do as a savvy entrepreneur, instead of saying how much is it, is you want to say, what is the ROI? What's the ROI time frame, right? ROI means return on investment. So if I'm going to buy this thing or invest in this thing or do this thing or whatever the thing is, when will you recoup your costs? And if that's in a reasonable time frame, but now now the problem is fixed in your business, and like in my scenario earlier, I could make an additional $20,000 in our bottom line every single month if I improve that one sales percentage figure. Does it make sense for me to do that if the ROI is 30 days or 90 days or even 6 months? If I now for years and years have corrected that problem in my business? Of course. That's the question you guys need to be asking. What is the ROI time frame, right? Does that make sense? And by the way, guys, this is a live stream, so ask questions below. I'm going to go back at the end and answer questions. So that savvy entrepreneur is looking for, where can I earn back time? Where can I get faster, higher profits from the decisions that I make in my business? Where can I have more happiness and less stress? Where can I what things will help me increase my rate of success? Right? And then how do I get to my ideal goals faster? That is how we think once we make the decision. And this was a big shift for me personally, guys. Like, forever I fought this because I was like, the kids need shoes. This needs to happen. That needs to happen. The first time I paid a professional level mentor to come in and do an assessment. We've done this lots of times in our business now. It feels like a no-brainer. It's easier to make the decision. The first time I paid someone, it was $7,000. Another time I paid someone, it was $5,000 or $6,000 to come in and do an assessment. And it felt like I was going to die with like the one that was $7,000. I literally had to put on 2 different credit cards. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I can pay this off by the time I go through this process with this person. I did, which was amazing. But what I learned from that is, when I invested in learning what I needed to learn and doing the things I needed to do and working with the right people to just freaking get it done, oh my gosh, not only did I get the return on investment, but then I knew I'm still using some of those systems that that person taught me years and years and years ago. And I've been using it to double the size of my business for years and years, right? So was that a good ROI? Even though it felt like I was going to pass out at the time? Best ROIs changed my life, that one decision. And that led me to not having so much fear the next time I needed something, and then investing in that next thing and investing in that next thing. I know it feels big. Trust me, because I was you. But a successful entrepreneur will say, after they do the assessment and look at all of those savings in their stress, in their cost, in the how fast they can get to the success faster, and fix it, what the fixing problems will equal to their bottom line, the assessment can only be one thing: if it's the right fit for them. I can't afford not to do this. I cannot afford not to do this, right? Because that's the thing that I need to get to the next level. And I told you at the beginning, right? A lot of people aren't willing to do the work or have the courage or do the thing. I get that. And if you need time, it's one of those things where, like, I want to remind you, you're never going to feel ready for anything that feels really big. All growth happens 2 steps outside of your comfort zone. I still challenge myself with this today, right? So that's what a successful entrepreneur, how they'll internalize it. And why this came up I spoke about the feed earlier. Tammy, I want to thank you for your long post. You guys can literally go read this feed. It's on the COV page. But someone had asked about careers on vacation. They said, hey, I want feedback. I'm really thinking about this program, which, by the way, I think is an amazing question to ask, because you should vet and think about it, make sure it feels like a good fit, whether it's my program or anything else that you might decide on. So she was asking from feedback from my clients who've actually been through the program. Lots of my clients chimed in. Thank you guys. I love you so much. It was just like an outpouring of love, and I appreciate you guys for that. But something stood out to me in Tammy's post. And that's why I want to talk about in the live stream, because I didn't know this about her. She went through my program, and you guys, she was a rock star. She did the work. She showed up. She asked good questions, and she's thriving, right? But what she put in her post is, she had her discovery call, and we kind of walked through and mapped her a path. We said, we think you're a good fit for the program. Here's how you can kind of factor in the return on investment. And she needed time to process that. And instead of going back and doing what the hobbyist would say, which is, I can't afford that. Nope, I'm just going to do 8 different things. Tammy, now that I know, because she posted it yesterday in the feed or a couple days ago, she went out, you guys, and she got a part-time job with Uber. And Tammy frickin' drove Uber to save for our program. So comfort level wise, that felt good to her. But that's the type of dedication. The savvy entrepreneur doesn't say, I can't afford it. They say, how do I figure this out? How do I figure out to get this thing that I need, right? And then later in the feed, she says, I wish I would have just put it on a credit card, because I would have totally had it paid off. And she literally shared her sales. You guys can go see that. I don't remember what it was, but she said, not only did I pay for the price of the program before I graduated, but now I'm on track to do this and this and this. And now she knows how to do it for a lifetime. Right? So I just love Tammy's commitment level, that she was willing to drive Uber. I had another client a couple weeks ago that's like, Cyndi, I sold my boat to take this program. The program's not like yacht prices. Don't get too freaked out. But the point being is, look at the decisions that level of commitment it takes, right? That is thinking like, I know I need this thing, and it's going to help me get to the next level. Right? So again, whether it's my thing or something else, you have to be so committed to your success. You have to be so entranced with the potential of your goal that you are willing to work towards it every single day. So the hobbyist mindset will say, I can't afford it. Which questions are you asking? That's what I'm asking you today. In your mind of minds, and no judgment. I used to be you. Remember, I used to be the hobbyist. But I want you to challenge yourself and go, what questions am I asking? And I also want you to think about, what is the cost? What is the real cost of your time? Right? What is the cost of losing a year until you figure it out, or 2 years? Right? And Tammy was an experienced agent, guys. It was not her first rodeo. She had already started, but she even says in her post she had to go back and redo a bunch of stuff that she wishes she would have had done right from the beginning. What is the cost of having to pay the money anyway a year from now or 2 years from now for whatever the thing is that you need, right? What's the price? What's the cost of your sanity and your work-life balance? How much more successful would you be if you had that positive environment around you? And how much more money would you make if you're successful 1, 2, or 3 years earlier if you just fix the things that are broken in your business, right? I hope that's resonating. So let me give you some key steps on. We talked about the first foundational step, which is really thinking about your business like a business. The second one is getting clarity on your goals and taking daily action. Tammy is a perfect example. She's like, I have this goal. This is what I want to do. And then one of her actions was, I'm going to drive Uber so I can get this thing that I know I need. But because she was on track with getting clarity, maybe because she had that clarity call. I don't know what the time span was in between. But wherever you guys are at, or even if you're not considering things right now, it doesn't matter. If you want to be a 6-figure earner, or you want to grow to 7 figures or beyond, or whatever the case is, what you have to get clear on, what does that look like and feel like and taste like and smell like in your life? You have to know your goal. Yesterday on my Careers on Vacation Mastermind call, I got out I send all of my clients, when they work with us, a daily journal. It's just a simple journal, right? But inside it, I was sharing with them, even at my level, like, I do the work every day, you guys. I do the work every single day. I'm on like 20 of these books. Every single day, I do this clarity process. I am clear on what my goals are. If you caught our goal workshop back in January, I have my vision on my desktop. I took my phone in to get fixed over the weekend, like my screen cracked or whatever. And the guy's like, this is a cool screensaver. It was literally just my goals of like all of the stuff I'm working on, right? So because every day I want those to be top of mind. You have to get clear on what your goal is, and I want you to challenge yourself to think of what's the biggest, best version of your life you can imagine. You gotta like get clear on it, because until you get clear on it, you'll never believe that it's possible. Clarity is power. Then I want you to put it in some type of daily practice, right? If you don't have COV, you still got to get it in some type of daily practice where your goals are top of mind every single day, and that will allow you to operate with intention, right? One of my goals this year is I need to take better care of myself because I'm working myself to death. But the point is like that little affirmation of I'm taking great care of myself. It has caused me to order so many salads since the new year started because I forget to eat lunch. I shared that a couple months ago. It's such a little stupid thing, but because it's in my daily, something I'm working on and something I'm trying to get better at in my personal life, right? It's top of mind. I take great care of myself. I'm taking good care of myself. And as I'm writing that out and reminding myself that's one of my goals every day, I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and put that Mad Greens order in. If you guys don't have Mad Greens where you're at, it's an awesome salad place. But anyway, so that get clarity on your goals. Now, I want to give you guys some tips, some real tangible tips on things that you can do to start your journey to bigger growth, to 6, 7 figures, whatever your personal goal is. First one, we talked about treating your business like a business and not a hobby. I know for those of you who maybe you just started your journey as a travel agent, that feels really big. I had to learn everything through my years and all of the things. Take it a step at a time, but start treating it like a business instead of a hobby. You're not buying a pair of shoes. You're not buying a car. You're not buying, the latest, greatest outfit, right? When you make decisions for your business, whether it is who you're going to hire or things that you need to make your business better, remember you are making a business decision. It's not a hobbyist. If you want to stay in hobby mode, there's no judgment there. A lot of people just have this as a side gig or to earn some extra income. No judgment. That's totally cool, but you can still make good decisions in the hobby framework, if that makes sense. I want you to take more action on the business side. Number 2, take actions on things that you need. If you know you need to fix your automation, if you know that you need to fix your customer service process, if you know you need to fix your sales, you're not getting enough leads, you're not getting the right lead, whatever the problems that could be in your business, take action to fix those gaps in your business. You know what those are. You have to move forward. Number 3, you need to you need to give yourself some grace and not be afraid to fail. You are going to fail at some point in this business. You're probably going to mess up a trip somewhere. That could easily happen right now with everything changing and environment and crazy. Or maybe you're scared to get that thing that you need, or maybe you're intimidated by technology. I don't know what the things are. You're going to fail somewhere along the road. Failure is not your problem. Your fear of the failure that's causing you not even to try is your problem. We all fail. I make mistakes. I screw stuff up. I sent someone a link the other day and it didn't go anywhere. I made a mistake. But if I never sent it, it never would have got to the next place, right? So allow yourself the grace to have some failures as you grow, and just embrace failure. It's part of your growth process. I say fail forward and faster, because if I hadn't gone through that decade of being in that place of frustration and doing all the trial error and figuring out all of the things I needed to figure out to get my agency running like a well-oiled machine and getting it to where it was operating so well that I now it's doing so well, I now teach you guys how to do it in your businesses, right? If I wouldn't have allowed myself that grace to make mistake after mistake after mistake, I would never be where I am today, having stuff in a smooth operating capacity. You have to allow yourself the grace to do that. So that's number 3. Number 4, you guys got to get a supportive tribe around you. I know sometimes your family's like, what are you doing? Or what's this again? And I know you're still struggling through trying to figure out how to make this thing work, or how to make it fit with your life, or whatever your personal goals are. But I want to encourage you, you need to have a supportive environment around you. At Careers on Vacation, we have a great grad group. And then, of course, if you're on this page, this is a great community to be a part of too. But I want to encourage you in your circle of friends and family, like, do you have people that are fanning your flames and encouraging you to do big things? That makes such a difference, because when you are like, there's a quote out there that says, eagles soar with eagles. And when you are around people that are also working on big goals and they're doing it and they're achieving it, you start to believe that you can do it too. And especially when they're encouraging of each other. Yesterday we had Hector, who's in my program, who I love to death. Him and his wife Carmen are in my program. And he said, Cyndi, we are already on track to have the course paid for. Plus we have doubled our sales from last month. And he's only in like month 2 of the program. But everybody was like, oh my gosh, Hector, that's so great. And then this person was like, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And it's just the feeling of the success in the group that happens, that the newer people are like, oh wow, like I just started this week and they're 6-7 weeks in. That could be me in 6 or 7 weeks, right? See how that feels different in the energy, because they are surrounded in this group that is so positive and they're showing that it's possible. So surround yourself with A players. If you want to be an A player, surround yourself with A players. Be an eagle. Be an eagle. All right. Number 5, and this is really important, guys. Get real systems in place. You'd be really hard pressed to get to a 7-figure business, much less a multiple 7-figure business, without having systems in place. I get this question all the time on YouTube, and people are like, Cyndi, how do you do all this stuff? You have your agency, you have Careers on Vacation, now we have Wanderlust Social. I run 3 mega travel brands in the industry. The only way I'm able, and I have 3 kids, right? And I'm a mom and I'm a wife, and I travel all the time. If you guys follow me over on Instagram, which I'm traveling in a few days, so stay tuned for the backstory on that. But point being is, I'm a busy gal, and I have a really nice work-life balance though, but it's only because I have real systems in my business. So things like marketing, things like automation, things like monetizing my business, things like sales funnels, right? So spending my time on the architecture and keeping myself in my zone of genius, right? That is what allows all of my brands to expand, right? And of course, I have amazing teams that are in place for my companies, but it takes time and effort to develop those teams and get those people where they are in the right roles and feeling good about what they do every day. So I get to spend my time doing those so my companies and my brands can thrive. If you don't have systems in place, proven systems in place in your business, that's where your work life just like you want to throw your hands up because it's like, whoa, there would be, I think I shared on the COV page, we had 3,400 some new leads in our database last month. There's no way I don't have enough people to call back 3,000 people, right? So, but because we have systems that work people through processes, it doesn't even feel like anything. I don't have to skip a beat. I'm still at soccer practice. I'm still at my kids' play. I'm still at all the places because the technology is doing the work. So get real systems in place, you guys. It's so important. I'm going to say kudos. I see how many people are making it to the end of the video. You're my next 6 and 7 figures. I can feel it. So last thing I want to say is if any of these things feel foreign or uncomfortable to you, these might be the areas that you need to get help with in your business, whether it's my program or someone else's program. Do a good self-assessment to go, what do I need help with? What problem do I need to fix to get myself to the next level? Figure out what that is and take action on it. And if you guys are in that place where you are like, Cyndi, you're speaking my language, but I don't know how to do any of that stuff, I want to remind you, check out Careers on Vacation. This is my 12-week mastermind where I work with you, me and my team work with you for a 12-week period to really maximize your success. Whether you are aspiring or new, we have one agent track for that, or you're experienced, we have a different agent track for that. And you get to work with my real team. You get to work with humans. Imagine that care about your success. This is the same team that helped me scale my travel brands to 7 figures and beyond. And guys, we, oh my gosh, have so many case studies filmed. Please just go over to YouTube and check those out. I'm sure that there's a story like yours that you can resonate with, or check out that feed that was in the COV this week. That's a great feed to check out too. Go to careersonvacation.com/ready now if you want to have that clarity session, get some clarity on your goals, and find out if you if Careers on Vacation is for you, and then we'll walk you through the application process. We are very, very booked up. We have been on wait list for a little bit, so it's a 2 or 3 week wait at least to get into the program, and things are upticking really quickly because summer is always very busy for us. So please do that early if it's on your radar this year and you want to make sure that you have a seat. I would recommend doing that early. And guys, we are going to go over and see if you guys have any questions or just say hello today. I want to know where everybody's going on spring break. Tell me where you guys are going on spring break. I'm going to keep it as a surprise and follow along though. I'm flying tomorrow night, I think. So, okay, let me back up to this feed here. Carrie says, which systems have you found work best that is user-friendly to automate emails? Hey, Carrie. So depending on, there's a ton of email automation systems out there. That's really a how savvy you are with technology question. But you could start with something like MailerLite, Constant Contact, MailChimp. All of those are email providers. One thing that is lacking in our system is there's not a lot of CRM. There's no CRMs actually that are travel CRMs that talk to email distribution platforms. That's a real struggle. And I have told everybody that will listen, because I am not going to be the one that builds that. I'm not a tech person. I love operations and I love scaling businesses and coaching and mentoring. But I mean, honestly, it's free advice if anyone's watching in the industry. So Carrie, you do have to do it kind of as a separate process, but what you can do is you can take your database and your list out of your CRM in most cases, and then you can drop it in one of those other email providers. And what I really recommend if you guys are new to email marketing, think about what's my welcome series? What are your service funnels going to be compared to your sales funnels? Those are things to think through and kind of chart them out, even if you just do it on a blank piece of paper, and just build those first few automations out. Some CRMs do allow you to do email automations, but some of them are better than others on how they look email wise. Like to get a really great looking email, sometimes you have to use one of those extra services. You can use email automations in travel CRMs. I just feel like they're about 80% there in terms of how they look and feel for my level of what I like to deliver email wise, if that makes sense. Courtney says the feed came right on time. I loved all the responses and I'm so excited and ready to start. Yay! I'm so excited too, Courtney. That's awesome. Carrie says, love how much support there is and no question is a dumb question. Yeah, so Carrie's actually been through our program, guys. We actually just had Carrie's case study out. So you can watch her over on YouTube pretty recently. But yeah, and I'm I feel like like in another life I probably was like a teacher. I never was a teacher, but I have been training travel agents since my early 20s. That was one of after I became $1 million agent. I worked for RCI Travel, which is a huge travel brand. It was huge back in the 90s. It's still huge today, but they had a travel division, and my job was to train thousands of travel agents. I would do class after class after class because once they figured out I really understood the sales part, they were like, get this girl into training. And that was my first like professional job in management, right? I remember when I got the job offer and it was so exciting. But and in my heart of hearts, like I really love to train and mentor. And one of the things I learned is you have to create an environment where people feel comfortable. So to Carrie's point, I start every mastermind call and I'm like, there's no dumb questions. You can ask me the same question 30 times. Like, because everybody, is operating in a different place in their business. And people don't, this is another thing. People don't realize how hard it is to get this business up and running and profitable. They overestimate their ability and they underestimate how complicated it is to have a successful, portable, profitable travel business. Carrie can tell you that 12 weeks, it's not like we're sitting around drinking margaritas and talking about travel. We are like intense, like, this is what you need to do for marketing. This is what you need to do for sales. This is what you need to do for service. Here's your, crisis management. Like there's everything in there that is like, it is packed full. So you're learning so much, and to be able to have that container where you feel safe and you can ask questions. So thank you for bringing that up, Carrie. We really strive to have a really beautiful online format in our classroom, which is great. Andy's one of our clients too, said careers on vacation is well worth it. Hey, Andy, so good to see you on here. Hey, Pam, I see that you're on too. Then Carrie says, thank you for the consistency of reminding us how valuable we are and that all things are possible with the right tools. I was glad to hear this today. Yeah, and that's part of like, you guys think bigger. Like I sat on the dream of having careers on vacation was in my heart when I was like 26, 27. Like I had been training travel agents a few years. I had gone through traditional travel school in the 90s. I wanted to start like a brick and mortar travel school. And then right before like 9/11, I actually had financing. I had an investor. I had a business plan. I was so nervous because I was not even 30 yet, but I had it in my heart. And then 9/11 hit. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's not the right time. And I literally shelved the dream until I came back to it. So like a decade later, right? If I just would have like taken the steps. Now listen, I had to learn some life lessons and I had to learn some things along the way, and I had to scale and grow my own agency to learn what's in there today. But the point is, like, if I would have leaned into that earlier, there's no doubt I would have been so much more successful faster. And it was allowing myself to have the big dream. And a couple weeks ago, I talked to another amazing professional in the industry, and she does something else in the industry, but is kind of front facing to travel agents, and she provides tools and services to them. And we had a call together because we were talking about things we could collab on, how we can help the industry. And she said, Cyndi, I just want to tell you, like, what you've put together is phenomenal. Like you were ahead of your time in the industry. And I was like, thank you for saying that, like a tear. But I feel like I was so behind. But you guys are thinking about growing and scaling your travel business. It's a proven model, right? At this point, Careers on Vacation, remember, it was never a proven model. I was the first one to bring this to the industry and go, I hope this stuff works, right? I hope this is going to help someone. And now today we serve hundreds and hundreds of clients every single year, and in different ways, travel agents, travel agency owners, corporations that want consultations. So we serve in all kinds of different capacity, but this literally was just an idea in my head. So it's one of those things where at the beginning of this call, when I said, what is your biggest vision for your life? I was serious about that. Like, you guys need to get clear on it and understand, if you're clear on it, there's nothing that will be put in your heart that you can't accomplish if you're willing to do the work and you're willing to take action. So I love that. And Andy says, hope your family's feeling better. Yeah, I got pulled out of a call. Thank you, Andy. I got pulled out of a call. Both my boys got terribly sick and had horrible fevers, and turned out they both just had the flu. It wasn't COVID. So yes, they're doing better. We have some little coughs happening, but they're back to school. Thank goodness. not a fun week to have two preteens that were, they're grumpy. They are grumpy people when they're sick. So all good. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this was a helpful session. And I just want to tell you, I wish you so much love, so much abundance. I wish you the world, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
She's calling me, like the rainbow, she's calling me, like the rainbow.
Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out all of the other content on our channel. And if you want to follow along and travel with me around the world and see how I run my amazing travel brands and get some great tips on how to grow your own, make sure you check out that other content. I'm going to drop a couple videos here. Click those links. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.
She's calling me.